France is currently experiencing civil unrest due to riots from its citizens. This is largely due to increasing fuel taxes imposed by the French government. These taxes are said to have been put in place to help France shift towards a greener economy. The main participants in the riots are allegedly members of La Gilets, or the Yellow Vests. This politically unstructured group of citizens fights for a decrease in income inequality in France. Other common participants in the riots are trade unions and other political groups. Citizens have responded to the tax with demonstrations and marches throughout the country. French President Emmanuel Macron made attempts to decrease the taxes, but it apparently had no effect. Protesters have gone beyond break-ins and vandalism to include police violence as well. Protests have decreased since February, however, they started to once again pick up in early July. In July, protesters clashed with police in numerous cities and areas across France. Demonstrators threw rocks and Molotov cocktails and burned cars, while police retaliated with tear gas. Smaller demonstrations continued to be held, often peacefully, until the most recent protests on July 12. Despite Paris police putting a ban on the protests, the French had clear intentions of exhibiting their dissent. Protesters gathered near the Champs-Élysées, close to the presidential palace, shouting various chants and slogans. Many of the demonstrators were initially peaceful, but some participants turned to more violent actions. A majority of the protesters are reportedly men, many of whom are in their 20s or 30s. Hundreds of demonstrators have been arrested and hundreds of others injured in the riots. It is not just French citizens that are partaking in the riots. Migrants living in France are also participating. Many view the demonstrations as an opportunity to express their opinions on the French governmental policies. In June, supporters of the Yellow Vests greeted French Prime Minister Édouard Philippe in France. Protesters have also taken to diplomatic buildings to demonstrate their displeasure with the French government. It is believed that the increasing discontent of many French citizens has created the conditions for the riots. French citizens feel that the tax increase has been unfair, and it has added to the existing rural-urban divide in France. Despite the government's attempts to de-escalate the situation, the civil unrest continues.